have right now a security practitioner, Oladeinde Ariyo, with us here in the studio. Good morning. It's nice to see you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I see you've been feeling really sad from this incident, and that's the same way every Nigerian feels right now, in addition to what has been going on and so on. I wonder what you make of the statements by the governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, on the issue of declaring bandits terrorists.
Well, you know, when I read the news over the weekend, I was asking questions. I was asking myself that what could they be looking for? A bandit, by definition, is a robber or an outlaw that operates as part of a gang, you know, in isolated or outlawed areas. Now, they must have a target. Maybe they want to take away material things, snatch their women or daughters and all of that. But this one, they came just to destroy and to kill. I'm sure if the counting was actually done, there would be more people that probably was shot or caught somewhere and went to die somewhere in the bush that are yet to be discovered now. So the question is, who is behind this? What benefits are they hoping to derive? Just maiming and killing people needlessly. Now, I feel for the governor anyway, because at least I heard him admitting that he failed to protect the citizens who voted for him. But now saying that we should identify them as terrorists or declare them terrorists, for me, it doesn't make any sense, because we are in the midst of a crisis over the agency being proposed, you know, for the radicalization, the retraining and reintegration of terrorists. So are we now going to be recruiting from bandits to become terrorists and then create another monster?
Commission. And
then the commission now, for them to continue to be at work, terrorists must continue to operate, because that will be the source of their raw materials, if you understand what I'm saying. And remember that at the beginning of these things, it was the same Kaduna governor that said he had met with them and he had paid them some money. Each time we declare that throwing money at problems is not always the solution, you must look at the imperatives of the problem.
Is that what is fueling the consistent
Because
attacks?
what we have done was to have empowered them, whereby they had more money to buy arms and ammunition to continue attacking, with the hope that when they wreak more havoc, they may be called again to the table and be paid more money. Otherwise, if his proposal has succeeded, or if it was a success, we won't be talking about this today.
Exactly.
But what do you think is at the heart of all of this? What is the root of at the root of banditry?
I have tried to, because banditry crept into our daily lexicon very lately.
Yes.
Nobody was talking about that. Now, in trying to classify classes of criminals in Nigeria, we say, okay, terrorists, then bandits, kidnappers, armed robbers.
Headsmen.
Headsmen. Well, the question now is, the terrorists say they are trying to Islamize the country, okay? Whether they are right or wrong, give it to them. Kidnappers, they seize people, collect ransom, okay? Armed robbers come to take things and then they go away. If in the course of the operation you come their way, they may waste the person. But this way that these bandits are operating, you cannot really place your finger on what they are after. I was initially, because of my knowledge of war studies, I thought maybe they could be fighting war of territorial expansion. But they were nowhere before, okay? And then if they were supposed to be an army of occupation, they will still need the houses in those places they are, they're taking over.
We have always known bandits. We have always known bandits to be robbers of maybe cattle or robbers of horses or donkeys, and
we call them rustlers.
Yeah, rustlers. Yes. Exactly. That's the thing.
So all of these things, it still speaks of the lack of quality intelligence, which we've always been advocating that government should, rework its architecture of intelligence gathering. Whichever is not working, whether covertly or overtly, let them rejig, whereby the security agencies will be ahead of these criminals.
Governor Rufai is talking about reviewing the ECOWAS treaty in such a way that we know that one of the commonest part of the treaty is the free movement of people, where anybody in Mali can find himself in Nigeria so long as he's a member of the ECOWAS, you know, a citizen of an ECOWAS country, a member country.
Libya is nearer Kaduna than the ECOWAS sub-region. Okay? So why are we not thinking that the outlaws of Libya, those who made Libya ungovernable, are part of the gang?
But the government has made that clear long ago.
Can we also say that now Boko Haram has gotten splinters? Perhaps some of them are the ones behind this. Or maybe it's an arm of the operation or something. It's not about chasing the shadows now. We should be specific. We should be deliberate.
By now, we should have intelligence.
Exactly. Not now. Are they going to now rewrite the entire ECOWAS treaty or whatever, or are they going to cancel it? No. They should allow quality intelligence gathering to come on board first, and then they begin to analyze the reports and be able to isolate the challenges. Then you can apply the appropriate and result-oriented solutions.
Recently, we saw the launch of Shege Kafasa, and
but they've said it's not with their consent.
Yes,
it's unlawful. That's illegal.
The question is, should the government perhaps integrate that into the security structure within the state to help with intelligence gathering?
Again, Shege Kafasa was supposed to be an improperly thought of response to Amotekun in the southwest, if you give it to me. Okay. Unfortunately, the governor said they were not part of it, whereas Amotekun, the governors were all behind it. Now they said they didn't know about they were and that if they allowed them to operate, it will metamorphose into another monster. To that extent, we can't be discussing the possibility or otherwise of adding it up to what they have. I still insist that intelligence gathering is the major thing. Number two, for everyone who is a leader, traditional ruler, or leader by whatever situation, they should be made accountable, okay, for the people and the lives in their community, such that if anything happens in a place where you're supposed to be the leader or the emir or whatever, you will be held accountable. They cannot be walking about with their eyes closed and ears blocked. Information will still filter around. Those people are not spirits, they are human beings. And they live among them.
Exactly. All right. We have to leave it here now. Oladeinde Ariyo, thank you so much for your time on the program.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me.
Right. Security practitioner Oladeinde Ariyo joins us now to bring us, give us insight into this. It's nice to have you join us.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Now, if you look at the structure of governance or rulership in Nigeria, besides the political leadership, we also have the traditional leadership, which a lot of people submit allegiances to. And they are the first custodian or closest to the people, even more than the political leaders, because people have this attachment to them. And it is also said that whatever goes on in any domain, because every domain belongs to one traditional ruler or the other, they understand and they know, especially when it comes to the people who are behind this or if they are visitors to the place. Now, traditional rulers in any part of the country where there is insurgents or any kind of disturbances, how much are we using them, or what's the role, or how useful are they to gathering intelligence?
Unfortunately, the constitution that we run has no prescribed specific responsibilities for traditional rulers. It's still being the same carryover from the days of old. Unfortunately, again, situation where they adjudge cases or those cases disputes and all of that has been taken by the courts. So in most cases, a lot of them are mere ceremonial heads, not really having much to do. But this is a golden opportunity to get them engaged.
But in true terms, a lot of them, in fact, most of them, or not, if not all of them, are paid by taxpayers' money.
All. They are civil servants, if we must agree. And the truth is, this is a chance now to empower them and then give them responsibility, whereby they must understand that beyond just sitting down here, entertaining people and having regular discussions, they also must get to know the people living in their communities. When I say know them so much that they can, if they mention the name somewhere, should to say, oh, he's a carpenter, he's a bricklayer. Now, not that the banks do KYC, know your customers, or landlords are asked to know their tenants. They too should know their subjects.
But do they have to wait for the Constitution's empowerment to, take these measures? Because their lives, the families, extended, are also at risk.
Don't forget that the Constitution is the guideline. It provides the guidelines for all these positions. Before now, they could be taken to court, for transgression. The care is not taken. Okay. But now, there is a task. There's a problem, a challenge that must be faced very squarely. So in doing that, it has now become far more urgent for them to know those who live in that domain.
State houses of assembly, can they take that up?
They don't have to promote a law to do that. It can be seen that the way it is, since they have the basic knowledge of their subjects, they understand the terrain, geography of their areas.
Well, they're supposed to.
Exactly. So they can equally delegate, like in Yoruba land, where they have Oba, they also have ballet.
Yes.
Then the ballets also have ballets. So the ballet reports to the ballet to the Oba. So it's just to maintain the structure whereby they delegate responsibility and authority down the slope, whereby the ballet also knows that, okay, this is my house. Everybody here is accountable to me, or I will answer for their misdemeanor, okay, before the ballet. And ballet also supervises, more ballets in that order. That way, it will be a lot easier to spot criminals living in the domain.
Yeah, but I wonder why the governors or even government is not engaging the traditional rulers enough, because it is said that to whom something is given, something is expected.
Much is given, much is expected.
Exactly.
Well, we've had these issues, even at the constitutional review conferences that they've had, whereby we were agitating. I'm a traditional person that, look, there are no wars that KBCs now initiate, unlike the days of old. Therefore, let's define their role and attach specific responsibility to the authorities so that they can be adding value. And then, of course, they will be doing a day's job for a day's pay. But for whatever they saw, the people who have framed Constitution, they didn't do all of that. So maybe if you're going to be having another review, they will be incorporated formally. So they will also know, okay, that they have to. Because we still have the local hunters who reports to them.
Exactly.
And in every community, they have their local vigilantes who take care of night times, whereby you don't just cross an area to another unless...
So it's almost like...
When bandits are even coming, they have their ways of networking and then preventing them or encircling them, whereby they can neutralize the bandits or whatever attack that may be coming or any external aggression.
All right. We have to leave it here now. Oladeinde Ariyo, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.
Security consultant Oladeinde Ariyo is in the studio to talk to us about this. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Glad to have you join us. Yeah.
Now, the president, I want to take the president's reaction to this issue. He said that, that the government is going to bring these bandits to their knees.
He's not just saying that.
Of course. But then I want to take his statement. I'm just trying to, reiterate his statement. And for some, the capacity of the security personnel to really do this is being questioned. So I wonder what you make. And others are also looking at the area of cooperation between the police and the military to address this. I want to look at it from that direction.
Much. You must understand that it's a civil issue. Ordinarily, it should have been a police issue. But the intensity of the destruction and the mayhem has gone beyond that, especially the frequency. February 3rd and then this weekend, barely 3 weeks after. Now, we have always talked of interagency collaboration, not just on operational basis alone, in intelligence sharing. If the police gets any information, they should be able to pass on to the military, because this is more like a war now. Again, when we say collaboration, the Nigerian military is already overstressed fighting Boko Haram at that end. And at different points in Nigeria, they have operations trying to maintain sanity and peace in Nigeria. To that extent, the framework has to be rejigged, whereby the cooperation will be more intense. Then secondly, there's a need for the government to buy the confidence of the people. There's a disconnect between the people and the government, whereby even when they have information, they don't pass it on. We had the Kaduna case of the doctor's wife. Okay,
yes.
The man built a police station for the community, and just because of that, one of the policemen there arranged the kidnap of the wife and her subsequent mother. Again, the lady that worked in the presidency, she had criminals around her, so it was reported, and she told the police. A policeman went and told those guys that this lady reported you. She was killed. You know, so in all of these things, confidence is missing. The police as a security organization and then the government on the side should buy the people's confidence, whereby if they have information, they will freely give it to them. Because
so that boils down to the issue of trust.
Oh, yes, trust, yes. At the bedrock, all of these things is information. Some of the people may know what will happen. They may also know who and who are involved. But if they don't trust the agency enough, they will not talk, knowing that if they talk, their lives may be in danger.
Well, when it comes to the capacity of the security agencies, people still believe that Nigeria actually has the Nigeria police, the Nigeria military, the Nigeria security services, the SSS, all have the capacity, the true, real capacity to handle all of this headlong. And we've heard comments of people saying that there are some persons within the system somehow benefiting from all of this. At what point can we bring everyone on board to say enough is enough?
We have gone, I mean, that point was yesterday. Okay, we have gone beyond that point. Where we are now, we should have been executing outcomes of that meeting. Over the years, our police, when they go for operations outside Nigeria, they win awards. And they win laurels, they come back, and then we are proud of them. Now, what is the missing link? Let's talk of not being properly armed. You know, when I say properly, or we say appropriately armed for the kind of battle they are facing, that should be looked into. The issue of welfare has been taken care of over the years. If it's still not good enough, they should also look at that. In terms of training, it's an ongoing process. There must be need for learning, unlearning, and relearning. It's a fast-paced technology world that we are in now. Things happen very fast and very rapidly. Technology changes very quickly. They too should change with the time. They can't afford to be at the back end, you know, of the whole thing. And lastly, as I said, there's a need for mass public enlightenment. A lot of things happen that people don't know. Government should lead that. We have the National Orientation Agency who should be doing that. Like that you were saying with the coronavirus, that the information should be available. People should know.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, that way,
if possible,
in their local
languages.
language. I happen to be a part of the group that did the thing for banking, whereby you could fill your banking form in Yoruba language.
All right. All right. Oladeinde Ariyo, thank you for speaking with us.
My pleasure.